John has been, it was a tough year, you know. John has been a tremendous leader and a tremendous mentor to me and to Nancy in our first 2 years on council. We've had to deal with quite a few things in our town, some contentious items, but throughout all of those, John, cell phones. Throughout all of those, John always approaches every problem coming to our city with incredible, thoughtful deliberation. And if you ever sat next to him at a city council meeting, you would see the notes that are scribbled in every margin, in every column, in every open space of this packet. This is a man who truly and deeply cares about our community, and one of those leaders who thinks 10 years, 20 years down the line. And for his 8 years of service, I can only say thank you very much. One of the other things that John consistently did throughout his years on council was to remind all of us that being part of our democracy, that being an advocate for our civic responsibilities is so incredibly important. And in a city like Sierra Madre, where we depend on the community and ourselves to get things done because we just don't have all of the money that we need to do the wonderful things, that is a very important message for all of us. And in closing, before I get to the certificates, Marianne inspired me. I'd just like to end with this couplet. So let us all hail from the trail to the cannon and give a great cheer to our departing John Buchanan.
My wife will tell you in the last few years, this is as close as I've come to actually having a hammer in hand of doing something constructive. But, you know, I want to thank you, first and foremost, to the residents of Sierra Madre, particularly the voters, because you're the ones who came out and participated, who gave me the privilege to serve our community. The work, I can tell you, was rewarding, and the honor I will cherish for a lifetime. Thank you for your support and your loyal opposition. Governance requires both. I want to extend a personal thanks to my colleagues who served with me these past 8 years for their wisdom and insight, even when we strongly disagreed. Thank you to Rob, Tanya, George, Enid, Joe, Don, Kurt, Josh, and Nancy for your commitment to our community and working together to get good things done. And also, although I've already said it, to my colleague who departs with me tonight, Marianne. Thank you, Councilmember McGillivray, again, for your dedicated service to our town. Special thanks also go to our staff at every level of city government. It is your work, sometimes unnoticed, but always important, that makes much of our wonderful quality of life in Sierra Madre possible. The current directors, Alyssa, Bruce, Danny, Karen, Larry, Steve, Carolyn. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. If I did, I'm sorry. Thank you for your continuing dedication, not only to your jobs, but to the city as a whole. Please extend similar thanks daily to those who report to you. Let them know always that what they do is valued by many, even if we do not say it often enough. I also want to mention the recently retired, I was going to say recently departed, but they're not departed. They're just recently retired, Tony Buckner and Marilyn Diaz, for jobs well done and a lifetime of commitment to public service that truly made a difference in the lives of so many. Now, I've been blessed to work also with talented, knowledgeable, and patient city managers. Tammy Gates, John Gillison, Don Hopper, twice, provided leadership and insight and, frankly, mentorship to me, even though we're the ones who give direction. And during my time, the Dean of Sierra Madre City Managers, Elaine Aguilar, who outlasted all of them during my time on the council. I remember when we interviewed you, Elaine, and I don't think I'm giving away secrets, and those of you who were here will remember, we always talked to the city manager saying, I'm hoping we get at least 5 years out of it. We understand that the Sierra Madre people come and they move on. But we're hoping we can get 5 years out of you. You said you thought you were going to be able to give that to us. That was in 2007. What year is it? You did it. These people, I tell you, they knew more about more than I did. And though we as a council provided direction, they provided us with guidance and understanding of the issues before us. That's what a good city manager will do. And we've had good ones. Elaine, you're the best. And finally, to my wife, Terry, and my family, thanks for not only living this with me, but becoming an enthusiastic partner in promoting the well-being of the town we call home. I love you. Thank you. Now, none of the rest of this rhymes, so I don't know that it won't be that good. But I know this is a time where one usually lists accomplishments, and I'm going to be no different. And there were many not me, we, council, staff, volunteers, and more generally the residents as a whole accomplished in these last 8 years. We have improved public safety through the introduction of paramedic service, increased training of fire and police, expanded daytime response capabilities, and we provided vitally needed new equipment and increased regional partnerships for our public safety, both police and fire. We have repaved and maintained many of the worst streets in town. We didn't maintain them as the worst streets, we improved them. Except Elm and Marianne, that's the next council has the responsibility of paving your street. They're going to have to do it by hand, given our monetary situation. But we've replaced vital water infrastructure, the Grove and Miramonte reservoirs, as well as new wells and the water treat. We've added a water treatment facility to deal with contaminants. And Josh is drinking that water now as proof that it works. We finally secured WRDA funding. You can figure out what the acronym WRDA means later. But we secured WRDA funding for it all, and that took several trips to Washington to finish what had been begun by prior councils. We expanded park space, entered a new agreement with the community nursery school to keep them here in perpetuity. We've completed the youth activity center, the Sierra Madre room, and the Hart Park House. There's a new children's room at the library, thanks to largely to volunteer effort. New heating, ventilating, and air conditioning at the library, and a revamped outdoor area that makes it a wonderful place to be. Technology and infrastructure is vastly improved, and there is a new city website, and our financial records are better than they have ever been. There is a new hillside management zone and canyon zone, and volunteers and staff will soon complete, as has been referred to before, the updated general plan. We also help facilitate Dr. Sammy's long-held dream of a new medical facilities, and we have begun the process that, I can say this, that I hope will lead to an assisted living facility that breathes life into the lot across the street. And finally, yes, we have balanced the budget and with a healthy reserve that is the envy of other cities. And it has been accomplished with fiscal discipline and some hard decisions and sometimes painful cuts, but also with a sense of community. However, big challenges now present themselves in maintaining that, but with foresight and commitment, we will successfully confront these challenges in the years ahead. Because tonight is not about the past. These transitions should never be. It is about our transition to the future. And I believe we are positioned to embrace that future if we do not shrink from We have made substantial technology improvements in recent years, including a new friendlier city website, as I mentioned, and new accounting software, which doesn't sound exciting, but it has transformed our financial records, given us a clearer picture of our financial position now and in the future. And it's a tool not for simply looking back, but for looking forward. We have studied our compensation structure and instituted new personnel rules that better comport with modern human resources practices and will allow us to better evaluate our human capital. The market demand study has been completed, and if we pay attention to it and use it to plan, it can yield economic development that fits the community by enabling us to know better what is possible. And I want to talk about the Green Committee. The Green Committee has proven to have foresight and policy development skills that can prove that environmental sensitivity is not the province of one party or ideology or the domain of distant organizations. It is something that can be expressed locally as an inherent part of Sierra Madre's culture. The insights of these people are a valuable planning tool. I encourage our next council to use their knowledge. And of course, you also have the resources and talents of the others who serve on city commissions. They are a talented group. Let them help. Finally, there has been a strategic planning process in place that has already put the new council on course to make its own mark on Sierra Madre's future. You have the tools. So to John Arabedian, John Capocha, Chris Kerber, and to Josh and Nancy, you have a future full of challenges. But you have the tools, the staff, and the information with which to make your mark and with which to do good. Our history as a city is instructive, and we will preserve our town and our sense of community best by bringing new ideas to the fore, not by waxing nostalgic or trying to imitate a predecessor. Our time is done. As a resident now, I'm counting on you. It won't be easy. So let me offer this. When times are tough, maybe the audience is a little bit animated, or when you are losing sleep about the next big thing, take a step back and gain perspective. To that end, I will be leaving for you, as a parting gift from me, the book Fiery Trial, a prize-winning work on Abraham Lincoln and the fight over American slavery. I'm reading it myself. Now that was a big thing. You know, if he could deal with that, you can deal with this. And by the way, I'm going to present this to my colleagues on the City Council as well. Mary Ann, Nancy, and Josh will all get copies too. So step back, get perspective, find inspiration, and then move ahead. Always thinking about tomorrow. If you do, I promise you, it will be even better than today. Now let's get you all in here.